In this episode, I'll be showcasing a series of video clips depicting the U.S. government's actions in the past 100 plus years or so, covering up an assortment of evil deeds committed from wars to perpetrating espionage and spying on its own citizens to practically poisoning innocent, unsuspecting people. Very shocking indeed.
One suspect down in Trump, sounds like.
The real reason that UFOs are covered up by the powers that be is not the ramifications of alien life. Granted, that's a part of it. It's the technologies associated with how these craft, whether it's a metallic disc or a black triangle, levitate and propel. 0-point energy and electrogravitics, or anti-gravity. There are multi-trillion-dollar industries that would be threatened by the release of this kind of technology, so it's been covered up for many, many decades.
The technology that we have gained, we, the American government, has gained from extraterrestrials is the high ground. It has made our military 15 to 20 years more advanced than Russia and China. Maybe not in nuclear missile technology, but certainly in all other encompassing military technologies. We are 15 to 20 years advanced, more advanced than China and Russia. And why does this matter? We have to be the dominant military force in the world right now. Our bullying position in the world, our navies that sail all the seas where no one else does. We need that bully pulpit to force the global economy to trade oil in petrodollars, meaning they have to buy American dollars to buy their number one energy source, oil. When countries want to defy America and stop trading in the petrodollar and want to use silver or want to barter or want to use other metals, now you are fracturing and you are threatening America's global dominance. If the global economy stops trading in petrodollars, the United States economy will crumble. And when the United States economy crumbles, the global economy crumbles. You will not hear this from
8 cover-ups the government finally admitted were true. The last one will blow your mind. Number 1. Area 51 officially did not exist until 2013, when the CIA finally admitted it was a real classified military testing site. Number 2. The Pentagon Papers proved the government lied for years about the Vietnam War, knowing it was unwinnable while sending soldiers to die. Number 3. COINTELPRO was a secret FBI program that spied on, infiltrated, and sabotaged civil rights groups and anti-war protesters. Number 4. The government sprayed Agent Orange over Vietnam, knowing it caused cancer and birth defects, but denied it for 30 years. Number 5. Watergate proved President Nixon ordered break-ins and wiretapping of political opponents, then tried to cover it up. Number 6. Iran-Contra revealed Reagan's administration illegally sold weapons to Iran and used the money to fund rebels in Nicaragua. Number 7. The government admitted it secretly tracked every phone call record of millions of Verizon customers starting in 2006. Before I say the last one, make sure to hit that follow button to support the channel. Number 8. The FBI ran a fake news website in 2007 and sent malware to suspects' computers to secretly install.
They haven't been coughed up. That's just one part of it. This cover-up has been underway for 79 years, and there's all kinds of stuff that's stashed away. The best stuff is the physical evidence, bodies, craft, things of that sort, which are probably in the hands of private contractors, so that there's a distance between what Congress can ask for and what it can actually get.
In 1975, the United States Senate investigated the CIA. Never been done before. Senator Frank Church of Idaho ran the investigation. What they found is in the congressional record: assassination plots against foreign leaders, domestic surveillance programs targeting American citizens, mail opening operations, no warrants, no oversight. Frank Church went on Meet the Press and called the NSA's surveillance capability, his exact words, a capacity that could enable, quote, total tyranny. That was 1975. The committee's findings forced the first legal limits ever placed on U.S. intelligence agencies. In 1980, Frank Church ran for re-election. Conservative PACs named him their #1 target in the country. Funded his opponent. Frank Church lost. Only Senate race he ever lost. 0 charges, 0 convictions, 0 accountability. Pattern or coincidence?
8 things the government tried to cover up. Number 1. The Tulsa Race Massacre. In 1921, a white mob destroyed the thriving black community of Greenwood, known as Black Wall Street. Over 1,000 homes and businesses were burned, and hundreds were killed. Officials failed to investigate or prosecute those responsible. For decades, the event was largely omitted from textbooks, and many Americans never learned it happened. Number 2. The Exxon Valdez oil spill. After 11 million gallons of crude oil spilled into Alaska's waters, officials initially downplayed the long-term environmental damage. Early reports suggested recovery would be quick, but years later, studies showed oil remained in the ecosystem for decades, affecting wildlife and coastal communities far longer than originally claimed. Number 3. The Church Committee exposed the CIA opening Americans' mail. For decades, the CIA secretly intercepted and photographed letters sent between the U.S. and communist countries. They called it Operation HT Lingual. Thousands of private letters were opened, copied, and stored. The public had no idea it was happening. Number 4. The U.S. Army's secret testing in St. Louis. During the 1950s and 60s, the Army released zinc-cadmium sulfide particles over parts of the city without informing residents. The tests were meant to study how particles spread in urban environments. Decades later, the government confirmed the experiments. The potential health effects are still debated today. Number 5. The 1971 break-in at an FBI office in Media, Pennsylvania. A group of activists broke into the office and stole classified documents. Those documents revealed COINTELPRO, a secret FBI program that surveilled and disrupted civil rights leaders, political activists, and ordinary citizens. The program had operated for years without public knowledge. Number 6. The 1958 nuclear bomb lost off the coast of Georgia. A U.S. bomber dropped a Mark 15 nuclear weapon into the waters near Tybee Island after a mid-air collision. Despite weeks of searching, the bomb was never recovered. Officials stated it posed no danger, but debate has continued over whether it was fully armed. Number 7. The 1918 influenza pandemic. As the flu spread rapidly, wartime censorship during World War I limited how much could be reported. Governments avoided alarming the public, and many early warnings were muted. In cities like Philadelphia, large public gatherings continued, accelerating the spread before the full severity was widely understood. Before I say the last one, follow for more history content. Number 8. The Flint water crisis. When Flint, Michigan switched its water source, residents quickly reported issues with color, smell, and taste. Officials initially dismissed concerns and assured the public the water was safe. Over time, testing revealed dangerous levels of lead. Investigations later showed officials had been warned about the water quality well before action was taken.
8 things the government tried to cover up. Part 2. The last one will blow your mind. Number 1. In the 1960s, the military released bacteria in the New York subway system to study how quickly it would spread without telling the public. That was subway dispersion tests. Number 2. The U.S. government secretly lost multiple nuclear weapons during the Cold War and kept details classified for years. That's known as broken arrow incidents. Number 3. In 1947, the military initially reported recovering a flying disc before quickly changing the story to a weather balloon. That became the Roswell incident. Number 4. The CIA secretly built a fake movie studio to help extract American hostages from Iran without raising suspicion. That was the Argo operation. Number 5. During the Cold War, the government monitored phone calls and communications of Americans without warrants for years. That was Project Shamrock. Number 6. The U.S. once secretly attempted to raise a sunken Soviet submarine from the ocean floor using a disguised ship. That was Project Azorian. Number 7. In the 1950s, the military tested insect-based warfare by releasing mosquitoes in U.S. communities without informing residents. That was Operation Big Buzz. Before I say the last one, make sure to hit the follow button to support the channel. Number 8. The government stored massive amounts of Cold War nuclear waste in sites that later leaked, but the risks were minimized publicly for years. That's known as Hanford site contamination.
They told us nothing was there, just a dry lake bed in the Nevada desert. Then they admitted it existed. They still won't tell you what's inside. Theory 1. Secret military experiments. The official story is experimental aircraft. Planes like the U-2 and the SR-71 Blackbird were built here in total secrecy. Sightings of impossible objects moving in the sky may have simply been technology decades ahead of its time, but that only covers what they chose to tell us. Theory 2. Alien bodies stored there. Whistleblowers claim that bodies recovered from crash sites are stored in underground facilities beneath the base. Autopsies carried out on non-human beings. Biological samples classified at the highest level. No confirmed evidence exists. The secrecy makes it impossible to disprove. Theory 3. Alien technology testing. After Roswell in 1947, many believe a UFO was recovered and secretly transported here, that engineers have spent decades trying to understand technology not built by human hands, studied in secret, underground, away from every eye. Theory 4. Reverse engineering UFOs. It goes further than storage. Some believe Area 51 is actively recreating alien propulsion systems. Aircraft reported moving with no wings, no exhaust, instant acceleration. Either that is alien technology, or something the public was never meant to see. Theory 5. Underground base network. What you see on the surface is not what exists below it. A vast underground tunnel network stretching hundreds of miles, connecting secret installations across the United States, hidden in plain sight, hidden underground. Theory 6. Human experimentation. The darkest theory. That the base has been used to conduct unethical experiments on human subjects. Mind control, biological weapons, genetic engineering. Governments have done it before, and the level of secrecy here has never been fully explained. Theory 7. Government cover-ups. For decades, the U.S. government denied Area 51 existed entirely. They admitted it only when forced by declassified documents in 2013. What they admitted was the minimum. What they are still hiding is the question that will not go away. Secrecy itself is the theory. Follow Hidden Theory 7. We explain something new every single day.
of the people I interviewed in my film, senior intelligence officials, went on the record saying that there have been dozens of crashed craft of non-human origin over the years, and elements of our government have recovered those crashes, and they've gotten out of that technology of non-human origin, and in some cases, non-human bodies that were on these craft. A number of the people in my film go on the record saying that the bodies were not all the same type, meaning there were multiple species.
We are witnessing the largest cover-up in the history of the world regarding the Epstein files. We are learning now that the DOJ had removed approximately 9,500 Epstein files. This is according to a letter to a judge that was filed on Thursday. Now, I didn't notice files missing until yesterday. Many others didn't either. Julie K. Brown posted yesterday that the memo into investigating Epstein's co-conspirators had been pulled down. And she even talks about a PowerPoint slideshow about investigating co-conspirators that was created in the summer of 2025 that was presented to Kash Patel. Meaning, Kash Patel lied under oath to Congress, saying there was no credible evidence to investigate anyone else, that Epstein only trafficked women to himself. That's completely untrue. The FBI knew this. He was told. He lied under oath. And they continue to cover up. They say they're removing documents for extra security to create more redactions, saying that they've accidentally released information on the identity of victims that they have to go and create more redactions for. I don't buy it. I've seen many of these documents. I think that's absurd. They've over-redacted. They've redacted the names of the co-conspirators. That's what's been redacted, which they're not allowed to do. Even if it's embarrassing for them, they cannot do that according to the Epstein Transparency Act. So, guys, we are witnessing a massive, massive cover-up, and it's unfolding in front of our eyes.
So when you drop, it's the word, have you ever seen someone die? When they die, their spirit leaves. Their soul leaves, no question. So in
There's
fact,
no question to you.
no question.
Bill, let's switch gears here, but we're still on the same topic of naval programs. What was the primary mission of the 1946 naval program known as Operation High Jump, and what really happened?
Very interesting. Essentially, the war World War II had ended. We didn't win. It's just sort of ended. And the Navy had been involved with the German facilities in Antarctica and the Draco reptilian facilities in caverns in the Antarctica. And this program was well accepted. And then when Paperclip took place, this is where many of the German elite technical people left Germany and went to their facilities in Antarctica. Some of them went to Russia, some went to England, and a large number of them, Von Braun and Dr. Debus and their people, came to the United States. So there's an admiral called Admiral Nimitz, and he got with another Navy admiral, and they formed the largest U.S. Navy battle group that we had ever had, with the number of ships and the number of facilities, personnel.
Have you all seen this image that was dropped by the Blaze that shows the camera angle of Jeffrey Epstein's cell block? This is wild. So many of you know the DOJ dropped the 11 hours of footage from Jeffrey Epstein's final night to show that he didn't delete himself. But there's also 60 seconds of missing footage that nobody's been able to explain why it's gone. Now, you see in the image that the camera angle doesn't even show Epstein's cell door. It's pointed at the common area across multiple wings, not straight into his cell. And the DOJ is claiming, well, no one could approach without being seen, but the footage doesn't actually show his door. And people on the Blaze and on social media as well are saying, well, you can easily slip past the camera and get into his cell without anybody seeing. Now, the DOJ says the case is closed, no foul play, no client list, no murder. But that unanswered minute and the weird camera angle alone leave a lot of unanswered questions.
The U.S. government has got to be completely aware of the existence of Bigfoot, and the more I think about it, there's two main reasons why I think it's never acknowledged and why they are probably taking active steps to cover it up. And if not, to further illustrate my point, when any government finally discloses something or maybe starts hinting at disclosure like the U.S. government has done with UFOs, it's both a distraction and an admission that they have known far more for far longer than we can ever imagine. They have got to know something about certain cryptid animals that are running around, the U.S. forest system. That's almost a foregone conclusion at this point. To get back to my main point, I think the main reasons the U.S. government is covering up Bigfoot starts with the timber industry in this country, and it ends with the U.S. Park Service and the Forest Service. Think about how disruptive that could be if it were ever disclosed that a rare, probably endangered primate, likely with close to human intelligence, were discovered to be living in the U.S.'s most forested regions. It'd be a major PR nightmare for the lumber industry. And even if there's likely only a small chance of that being the case, I still think it's a big enough potential catastrophe for those industries and for the U.S. economy that they still probably wouldn't want to take the risk. And that brings me to the National Park System, the U.S. Forest Service, state and local parks and rec services. All these government programs are a pretty big source of revenue for the federal and state governments, as campsites within national forest land are maintained by the U.S. Forest Service and bring in revenue for the federal government. To a lesser degree, state-run parks and rec sites bring in money to state governments. And we can't forget that the national park system is the U.S. government's bread and butter. This is a billion-dollar industry in terms of bringing in revenue for the federal government. If the general public were aware of the existence of creatures like Bigfoot, people would be afraid to camp, visit certain national parks. This could disrupt some major money sources for the federal government and state governments alike. So yeah, there are major conflicts of interest there on both fronts, and the U.S. government, for those reasons, absolutely does not want the public to be aware of this creature.
All right, folks, that about wraps up this TikTok showcase, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember, like, subscribe, and share.